Who are you? Think about it. Is who you are now who you were meant to be? At Baker College, we want to help you be more. More curious, more productive, more effective, and be more successful at it all. We can help you be more prepared for the future and more inspiring to future generations. The world is full of opportunities to be more than the status quo. The question is, are you ready to be more?
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome inside historic Keyworth Stadium, where today we find out who will have a date on Sunday afternoon to play for an MPSL Midwest Regional Championship. Alongside John Krieger, my name is Neil Rule. Happy to have you with us wherever you're watching around the world today on our stream. And John, you play an entire season. In some cases, especially Rochester's cases, you had some circumstances that you had to fight through to get here, but the bottom line is you're here. In 90 minutes, someone's going on and someone's going home.
And this is the best of the best in the NPSL and in the Midwest region. You had to qualify as one of the top two teams in your division to get here. These are some of the best teams that we have, and you see in the starting lineup for the Rochester Lancers. This is a team that played last night at Gannon University in Erie, Pennsylvania. A lot of the same players out here as played last night in the final 20 minutes against AFC Ann Arbor, and then in extra time and penalties. They got into the Detroit area around 4 o'clock this morning, so they're going on a 12-hour turnaround from arrival to kickoff. That's going to be a factor today, but the thing of it is they've got to know they deserve to be here. You're playing on adrenaline. You got to hope that adrenaline carries you. You got to hope you can survive the first couple of minutes.
Let's take a look at the starting 11 for Cleveland SC as well. Mario Musa will get the start as the keeper this afternoon. He's also played professionally for the St. Louis Ambush of the Major Arena Soccer League. Spent some time with the USA U17 national team. And maybe most importantly, as it pertains to this matchup, John, had a clean sheet against Rochester. Now, that was all the way back on May 25th. And this is something, too, we'll talk about it now for about 15 seconds, but when they kick it, it doesn't matter.
No, but you do have that familiarity. Anytime you can see a guy and you know where a shooter might go and you can call on that kind of a recall, it can be a good thing for you.
The officials here this afternoon getting ready to get things going. Christian Vorovenci, the head referee, the first assistant referee, Christian Little. Jordan Howard will be the second assistant, and Donovan Nucha, the fourth referee here today. Cleveland SC, the Eastern Conference Division champions, an 8-2 mark on the season. Rochester Lancers finished second in the Eastern Conference Division with a 6-2-2 mark. Rochester will possess first. They have the dark blue kits on with the yellow trim. Cleveland SC will be in the orange kits. And we are just about ready to go. NPSL Midwestern Regional Playoff action. When this weekend comes to a close, there'll be but one team standing. And the road to that begins right here at historic Keyworth Stadium. And we are underway. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along.
Worth noting, by the way, as you see Rochester get things underway, this is a Rochester Lancers program that it has deep roots in that community. You've got indoor teams, you've got youth teams. This, much like the host Detroit City FC, is a Rochester team that really takes building the beautiful game seriously, and they've built a club that is both indoor and outdoor and really trying to make its mark and have a foothold in the Eastern Conference.
Michael Cunningham taken down in the first whistle of the afternoon goes against Cleveland SC. So just 40 seconds into this one, John, a dangerous setup here for the Rochester Lancers.
Not much wind out there right now, Neil, and so there's not anything really to have a set-piece taker worry about. Kind of this dead, humid air. You can get the ball to bend a little bit. It will bend in these conditions. And the keeper's just got to play it straight right now, a three-man wall.
And Cunningham will stand over the free kick. The former Division II All-American from Roberts Wesleyan was a goal-scoring machine. Also played pro in the Australian Second Division. And he will survey the scene. A three-man wall in front of him.
Keeper giving him the near post.
Sends it, curls it towards that post, and a beautiful strike by Michael Cunningham. And the Rochester Lancers get the 1-0 jump in the second minute.
Well, I said the keeper was giving him the near posts. when you give someone the near post like that, it's really a race, if the ball bends right, to see whether or not you can get there. He was daring the shooter to shoot. The dare was accepted, and he didn't get near the takeoff he needed to be near the top corner to make that save. That's what happens when you have just a three-man wall and you dare that open shot. You better get there as a keeper, and that didn't happen. 1-0.
Michael Cunningham had 2 goals against Erie back on July 13th. That was a 4-4 draw, but he struck late a few times in that matchup, and he gets arguably just as big of a goal early on here. So Cleveland SC, before they even get a touch, before they even get a possession, find themselves down 1-0. How will they respond as that ball is played into the box and it's headed across the line? That was right in front of Tom Beck, so a corner coming up for Cleveland SC.
You know, it's very interesting. Ryan Osborne, he's a Yorkshireman, hails from Leeds. Very cagey when I was down talking with him. I asked him his thoughts on the game and his system, and his response to me was, well, what's Rochester going to play? So it'll be very interesting to see how they adjust and chase the game here as they get punched in the mouth in the second minute.
Some frustration on the face there of Michael Darazic. So that gives you maybe a little bit of a window into what's going through the mind of Cleveland SC. Obviously very disappointed to concede that early on. But the flip side of that coin, though, John, you still have 86-plus minutes to right the ship. There's no real danger as of yet.
No, it's not going to change the system. Right now it looks like Cleveland FC lining up with 3 at the back, and I think they're going to stay in that and just try to get the equalizer. You won't see a real change and a real opening at the back until about minute 60 if it's still 1-0. We're not in a chase-the-game situation yet.
Throw-in coming up for the Rochester Lancers. Ball sent inside the 18. 50-50 ball is cleared out before the whistle sounds against Tyler Bagley. Bagley, 30 matches started as an underclassman at Cornell. That speaks to the type of talent he has, that you walk in the scene at a decent soccer program like Cornell, and they give you the keys to the car, essentially.
And you know what? The Ivy League is not a bad
No.
soccer league in this country. You know, sometimes you sit there and you say it's the Ivy League. Well, you think about it in terms of football or basketball, and the fact that it's.
Well, they win there. They win there too, as far as basketball goes.
You're right. Penn and Princeton would have you believe some things, but in football, something like that. That's not the case with Ivy League soccer. They're very good, and that's a very young starter that established himself and is playing well.
I never had to worry about the Ivy League in the college application process.
Neither did I. About the only ivy that I saw was growing on the halls at Michigan State.
There you go. Chris Saveco on the right side. His cross sent in towards the top of the D, played out. So Saveco sent one in. Now Cleveland SC will try the left side. There's a dispossession. Dan Rieger will play it away. Rieger played for Rochester last year. Dan Rieger taught himself how to play piano as well. That's impressive.
Very aggressive wingbacks. It's a back 3 for Cleveland SC, and they're sending their wingbacks and what looks like a midfield 5 right now, very aggressively, counting on 2 center backs, Conchar and Colton Long, to man that back line.
Tom Beck plays it over the touchline. That was some nifty footwork by Rafael Godoy. They're in the midfield. 2-time JUCO All-American at Genesee Community College. Throw-in fired in. Ebengwese, the target. He was pushed from behind. Speaking of All-American, Ebengwese, 13 goals his senior year at the University of Indianapolis. He was a Division II All-American as well. That's a running theme between these two clubs, a lot of All-American honors.
With an African name, I often will ask the player, find the player, where are you from? Because they're very proud. He said, make sure you tell them I'm Cameroonian.
There you go.
And so there, I've told them you're Cameroonian, sir.
So here is Cunningham again. He's already got one of these on his resume.
Again, a lot of room. This time on the far post. See if he can bend it on off the other side of his foot.
And it's served in again, and the diving stop made. The header is put back in. A dream start for the Rochester Lancers. They were up 2-0 after Godoy is on the doorstep.
Playing on adrenaline indeed, and that's the second time that the Cleveland keeper, Musa, has given a lot of room on his left-hand post, or rather on his right-hand post. And I think overplayed his hand because the set piece comes in. He doesn't get over well enough to really punch or parry with any effect. It's in the middle, and a nice run and a nice follow of the shot by Tom Beck. And again, it starts because Mario Musa gave a lot of room to one side of the goal, and I don't think has the ability to really cover stick to stick, and it's cost him twice on set pieces.
So Rafael Godoy puts a second one home. We mentioned the fact he was a two-time JUCO All-American. He left Genesee Community College, their all-time assist leader, but it's the other role right now. Now Cleveland SC up against it. Ball served in towards the 18. Headed away temporarily. Tom Beck will give chase to it, but instead it's played up to Godoy. That ball touched over the line. Ebengwese thought he was pushed in the back. Throw in goes to Cleveland. Saveco on that right side. Chanchar touches it towards the middle. That ball played away. Ebengwese keeps it in along the line. He's 1v3 waiting for help. He gets it. Ball threaded through. Taken away by Derazic at the last possible moment. Antonio Manfoot, the target. As that ball is played out, that's always a good option to go to Antonio Manfoot. 6 seasons in pro indoor soccer. Had 20 goals with 8 assists for the Syracuse Silver Knights in 2018.
And Godoy very aggressive back to the goal. Nice job to stay in the play. And this is a good long ball and a nice job to keep it in play. Got an unmarked man in the middle.
His cross is deflected away temporarily. Now it comes to the top of the D. Cleveland SC shell-shocked here in the first 9 minutes plus. They're down 2-0. To the team that got in at 4 o'clock in the morning last night.
Well, we said we were playing on adrenaline, Neil, and the adrenaline is now running really strong.
Suljevic gives chase to it. Comes free in the middle. Vinny Bell tried to step through. But a corner kick. No, instead it will be a goal kick awarded. Much to the chagrin of the Cleveland SC 11 on the pitch. There is Vinny Bell on your screen. 2-time Division III All-American. How about this line? 43 goals, 101 points for Case Western.
That's not a bad line at all.
No, I don't care what level you play at, man. You score goals like that. And maybe the most impressive thing about Vinny Bell, Brazilian Ronaldo's his favorite player. Now, that's a cause I can get behind. That's my guy.
That's also a pretty high standard to set. So
I read a story online where he said it, fat Ronaldo, skinny Ronaldo, bad haircut Ronaldo, good haircut Ronaldo, it didn't matter. He scored goals.
It's all that, just put it in the back of the old onion bag, and you'll go. Interesting here from Cleveland. They are the center backs. Abengwese is making the Cleveland center backs respect him. But the center backs want to creep further and further forward right now. You're going to see, now down 2-0, you're going to see some higher presses, and that leaves room for the counter.
And here it comes. Momic inside the 18. That's touched just wide of the frame.
That's the equivalent of a ball taking a bad hop on a shortstop. He went in there and tried to control, and it hopped up a little bit off of the artificial surface. He caught it off the top of the outside of the boot. Nice ball over the top, counter there, and you see it runs away, and he's got to try to catch up with it, and he just chips it with the high outside of his foot, and it goes wide.
Udos Momic Scored 2 goals, including the game winner against Cleveland back on June 2nd. Lancers got the win in that return affair. Manfoot the target. Manfoot sends a cross in. Vinny Bell got in there, couldn't catch up to it. Koniarzik. Koniarzik again. Sends it out wide. A whistle. Foul called against Rochester.
First set piece opportunity here for Cleveland, but it comes from a far enough position outside that it almost is difficult to go directly on frame with it. So now it's a matter of marking your men. And the way Rochester's setting up again, room at the back post if you can get it over the first man.
Tom Beck standing there. Tom Beck was in the area code. That ball squirts up. Here's Manfoot, gives it a go. That shot is blocked by Bagley. And once again, Ebengwese makes his move. It's a 2v2. Wyatt Scott with him. Ebengwese couldn't get everything he wanted on it.
I'll tell you what, Ebengwese has some pace. Anytime you play a long ball over the top, he's going to have a good, honest go at it. And it spun on the Keyworth turf and stayed in for him. He just couldn't get the touch he needed.
Ebengwese has been a problem for Cleveland SC here early on.
Yeah, and the answer to that problem so far is that Michael Derizic is forced to come back. What was originally kind of that two-man center back lineup is now Derizic back there as an extra safety valve. Further that, Momich is also coming up and pairing Ebengwese.
Ball sent in towards the 18. It's cleared out temporarily. Vinny Bell trying to step through, almost did. Now it's played to the middle, now touched out wide. Cunningham got the party started in the 2nd minute for Rochester on a beautiful free kick. And about 6 minutes later, Rafael Godoy contributed as well off of another beautiful attempt by Cunningham. Antonio Manfoot along the line will win a throw-in.
Heck of a job by Wyatt Scott to shepherd that ball out.
Saveco's throw-in is headed away over the line and a corner coming. But, John, you get the feeling, I know we're in the 15th minute, but you get the feeling here, Cleveland SC pressing forward. I mean, make no mistake about this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It feels much later in the match.
It does, and there's a reason for that, which I'll get to after this service.
Manfoot crosses it in, comes 3, volley, popped up inside the 18. Cunningham will turn and clear.
Okay, now that it's cleared out, you talked about the reason and the fact that that it feels later in the match. For me, Cleveland SC, they were the number 1 seed. They were playing a team on 12 hours turnaround. I don't know that they expected Rochester to come out with this much. And all of a sudden, you're sitting there and you got punched in the mouth twice, and you're down 2-0. And I would be willing to bet that as they watch the circumstances unfold this week with that quarterfinal matchup and all the travel, they thought maybe it might be an easier start to this match than the one we've seen. And that can sometimes be a reality check.
Chanchar played it away, but a bad giveaway. Stepping through is Godoy. Ebengwese was a factor again, right up at the top of that D.
Worth noting, by the way, Rochester Lancers, in the early going, the technically better side. Crisper passes, more aggressive runs, more intuitive movement off the ball. And they've been rewarded for that, especially because both of their goals have come from set pieces, and the second one comes off a rebound and off of a deflection when you didn't stop running.
Ball sent up ahead, Vinny Bell. A dangerous run. Was able to stay onside. Throw-in coming up for Manfoot again. Handball is the call inside the 18. But as you talked about earlier, very humid all of a sudden. Opening kick temperature was 85 degrees, but it feels like 94. And the breeze starting to pick up a little bit, but the humidity's riding right around 80%. So it's just damp everywhere.
Yeah, and that's going to, by the way, that's going to play a role later in this match. You wonder, now Rochester has that 2-goal lead. They're going to have to ride it. Whether or not having to play last night and all the travel will catch up in their legs. Stay tuned on that. Nice control and touch there, and a better dispossession.
Wyatt Scott hit with the whistle. And Manfoot wants a card, and he may get one of his own.
He is for dissent, and you can't chirp at the officials. One of the things when it comes to the referees at this level, Neil, they're going to be evaluated by official observers as well. And, you have to be good to get to this level and to be asked to officiate playoff games. They're going to want to go further in the tournament, and they're also going to want to have this as a match they can put on their resumes to get rated. And one thing that they won't handle is dissent. So you chirp too much at the official, and that was not the first time for him. You're going to get a caution.
Chenchar plays it back towards the middle. Colton Long. Service wide right. Koniarczyk. The switch. That ball's headed towards the frame. The grab is made.
Winner of this match will take on Minneapolis City FC or Detroit City FC, the hosts for this weekend's regional tournament. That match coming up at 7:30 tonight.
Which we will also have for you live from historic Kiowa Stadium. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you as we roll into the 20th minute. 2-0. Rochester Lancers jumping out early.
Something we don't often hear, Neil, because the Northern Guard, who is not here yet because they'll have their traditional march to the match, often obscures this, is the level of communication between these two teams. And you can hear the communication in Rochester's defense.
Ball sent in, and it's a goal for Cleveland SC. Vinny Bell, the target. Vinny Bell delivers, the former two-time Division III All-American. And Cleveland SC back in this one.
That is beautiful service from the outside, lightning quick. And I'm going to want to see a replay as to whether or not it was off of Bell or off of somebody else. Service coming in, comes into the box, and it might have gone off the back of the Rochester player that is down after going off of Bell and taking a deflection. Tight play, and a nice job by Bell to win the ball in the air. Game on, Cleveland SC on the board and back in this one.
No question about it. Wyatt Scott shaken up a bit as he hobbles back, but that man in your screen, Vinny Bell, the man of the hour right now. The 216 is back in this thing.
And so the service comes in, and it slows up. That's off of Wyatt Scott. That's an own goal.
Either way, I don't think Cleveland SC cares right now as it sits.
And, wow, that's a tough turn for Bell to win the ball and then the ball to take a deflection off of Wyatt Scott. And all of a sudden, Cleveland SC back on the board. Now, what Rochester needs to do here, Neil, is quite simply remember they have the lead, go out and continue to play the style of ball that got them there, and not sit back.
And jumping up into the play right now is Michael Cunningham. He's got a goal already, trying to thread the needle just out of the reach of Momic. And Mario Musa will pick it up off the turf. As Wyatt Scott tended to by the trainers down in front of our broadcast position. There's some urgency right now with the trainers.
Taping the ankle.
Yep.
Got the shin pad and sock off. Heavy tape job on the right ankle for Wyatt Scott.
They're going through that right now like that's a man that's coming back into the match.
Yeah. And a very quick job, by the way, by the Henry Ford Medical Center's training staff. Credit where credit is due to them. They were out working with both teams, introducing themselves to them, preparing for this, knowing what the players needed. And Wyatt Scott is watching the action as he's getting taped up.
Ball sent inside the 18, volleyed out of harm's way by Godoy, but just temporarily. Koniarzik, line to the right, Suljevic. Koniarzik again. And his chip. Tyler Bagley, the unfortunate victim of circumstance, as he goes down to the turf.
He's given the body a couple times, Neil, today. There was one block in about the 17th minute. Now takes one off the head. And Wyatt Scott down there putting the socks back on after getting a heck of a tape job.
And the Henry Ford trainer runs off after doing the tape job. Now will tend to Tyler Bagley, who just wore that cross attempt.
There's a wait list for medical care here at Keyworth.
Absolutely.
That's a tough, tough, tough way to sacrifice the body.
Chanchar with the reversal finds its mark. McAvenue, left side of the 18. That cross got all the way through. Coughlin came out but couldn't get a hold of it. And now Wyatt Scott will come back into the match, as does Tyler Bagley.
And so now the chance to get set up defensively with a full complement of players out there. Does not look to be a long throw attempt, and it's not. And that one's just cleared up by us in the press box.
Absolutely, youngsters getting a good laugh out of it. Good work by the fans here at Keyworth. That ball was hustled back down to the sidelines in no time.
Well, you want to get involved. Nice job, nice, by the way, to see supporters from both sides who were here. Tough trips for both, up from Cleveland on a Friday and then from Rochester, New York. But there are some supporters from both sides. The real support you will see, however, in about, an hour and a half's time when 4,000 strong from the Northern Guard come through. And I'll tell you what, Antonia Manfoot, who is on a yellow for defense already, is continuing to chirp at the referees.
Complete with the hand gestures too, and that's the ticket, John. It's one thing to get verbal, and the officials can deal with that. But when the hand gestures start and it becomes public and everybody knows what's going on, that's when
you want to state your case, but not in a way that shows up the official.
Christian Vorovenci, is taking notice. There's no doubt about it.
We're in a hydration break here, Neil. Gives us time to talk about the fact that the last time Detroit City FC was in the Midwest Region playoffs, they were right here at Keyworth Stadium. And a great job by the folks at DCFC to get ready for this. Excellent ticket sales. It'll be a great night tonight when the home side is in, but all of the Midwest Region teams that are here, ask them their impressions of being able to come here to play. Both Rochester and Cleveland said this was an environment they wanted to be in. Both of them hoping they can get to Sunday, and if it's a match against Detroit City FC, they can see the supporter culture that is built. I personally can't. And so a 2-0 lead at first for Rochester Lancers. It began on a set piece coming from Michael Cunningham, dared to shoot for the near post, accepts the dare, and puts it on a postage stamp. And that was in the second minute, opened things up. And it would go on to be 2-0 as another set piece was punched but not cleared, and Rafael Godoy put it away. And then an own goal by Wyatt Scott And that's where we're at here after the hydration break in the 27th minute.
Suljevic plays it wide to the right side. Cleveland SC with a little bit of hop in their step. Manfoot, his cross, headed away. 50-50 ball. Suljevic couldn't come away with it. And a goal kick upcoming, but you talked about it. Coming up at 7:30, Detroit City FC, Minneapolis City SC as well. All the supporters sitting over at Folding Warehouse right now, getting ready for their march to the match. But there's a good one going on here in historic Keyworth Stadium right now. Rochester Lancers have stunned Cleveland SC, and some more words for the officiating crew. Colton Long with that captain's armband. Not pleased.
Well, and he can get away with it because by the laws, he's the only person that is supposed to be able to voice displeasure with a call to the official. So he can chirp as much as he wants so long as he doesn't use the foul language or run afoul of those statutes.
Service sent in towards the 18. That gets all the way through for a second. Now it's played back out. And a handball will be called, I believe, against Suljevic. So Edmund Suljevic, the former Cleveland State Viking, 3-time Horizon League first-team performer, will be hit with that handball call. And this has proven out to be not the scenario Cleveland SC wants to be in.
No, and Rochester Lancers 2 for 2 on set pieces today. And this isn't a good shooting range for Cunningham. It's a ways out, but given the fact that Musa likes to parry and is not really a catcher, things can happen. High line here. Watch for an unmarked run if you can time it.
Here we go. Cunningham will give way to Godoy. And Godoy sends it wide to Cunningham. Cunningham chips just far wide of the post. Looked like maybe a miscommunication, a play. That was some action that looked like a play was set up but not executed.
Yeah, that one's straight off the training ground. Unfortunately, it stayed on the training ground because nobody moved. What was supposed to happen is you wait and you try to beat the offside trap on the chip there, and nobody moved for Rochester Lancers.
Cleveland SC on the throw. Cleveland FC coming off a 5-1 win over Buffalo. They have a win over Rochester earlier this year by the score of 4-0. They lost at Rochester 2-1.
And not really tested in their game against Buffalo. So this is a different environment for them. They scored early to lock up the #1 overall seed. That one came late.
Manfoot with the cross into the 18. Now it's cleared back out towards the middle. Boy, how about that touch? Very impressive. Ebigwese. And Ebigwese taken down. Lots of contact. And the card will be issued against Colton Long. And John, it didn't look like there was much doubt about that call.
No, it's absolutely. And Cleveland is, I'll tell you what, cheap real estate for Rochester Lancers inside the heads of Cleveland SC right now, because every call is getting chirped at by the Cleveland SC players. And they seem more intent on trying to voice their displeasure with the referee. That's a tough challenge. It's a late challenge. It's a physical challenge, and it's a deserving challenge of a card. And they're still chirping, and I would not be surprised to see another booking for Descent. He's in, plays the ball, afterward, gets his leg taken out. Easy card.
Ebigwese, in the meantime, still down. Former Division II All-American at the University of Indy. And here's another look at it. And there you see Colton Long, very reckless with that challenge.
Yeah, and then puts his hand in the referee's face. If he didn't get the yellow card for the challenge, he would have earned one for Descent.
Ebigwese now be intended to by the Henry Ford trainers. Well, Henry Ford, the training staff here for DCFC has been busy.
Yeah, he's getting treated for turf burn right there.
the restarts inside the 18. Mario Musa makes the grab and a quick outlet. Cleveland SC now looking to build a counter.
Run around the other wing if you can find him. Instead, they go middle.
Vinny Bell. Feathery touch just out of the reach of Suljevic. Michael Cunningham plays it wide. Manfoot nearly jumped on that misplay. Saveco did well to head that one down.
Another body block by Rochester.
Which they are certainly happy to pay that price. Suljevic to Manfoot. Cross against the run of play. Vinny Bell had it for a second. That shot blocked.
That's from behind. Watch out.
And Momic rolled up on. And Uros Momic. He's down on the pitch. That was almost akin to when the offensive lineman, when the play's over in football, somebody rolls in from behind, rolls up on you. Let's get another look at it.
That's a lucky block there, and he goes down, and then comes back and gets the block in off the knee, and there's the roll up you're talking about. I tell you what, Cleveland SC has adopted a little more of a play the man strategy of late, Neil. They're trying to exert some physical presence. And the forward at the back for Rochester holding their own.
No doubt it has morphed. A first 10 minutes that was fairly wide open has morphed into a physical battle, especially in that final third for Cleveland SC.
Battle of styles, really, Neil. You have three at the back for Cleveland SC. You have a resolute four at the back for Rochester at the moment. Would give the advantage in midfield the way they're playing and the way the left back and right back are sitting back for Rochester to Cleveland. But intuitive play like that by Ebengueze, the forward tracking back, negates that a little bit.
Official says play on. Here's Cunningham. Sent it ahead, a little too far ahead as Momic was the target.
Long, a nice job to step over that and use the body to create the space to get possession.
Manfoot again. Saveco. Saveco locked up in a battle. Tyler Bagley fighting for the position. And that whistle will go against Cleveland.
We're going to have another card. Oh, he got the bad boy talk. About a second away from a card for dissent for the Cleveland SC player who hopped around and grabbed his shirt. And as you say, our referee taking notice today.
Jordan Sullivan played that one up inside the 18. Now it's touched away by Colton Long. Colton Long, Atlantic 10 All-Academic team, his senior year at Dayton, 2016. One of the better mid-major soccer programs in America, Dayton. They're always in the mix, producing MLS players.
And you know, you can see that. Smart man plays a cerebral kind of football. Nice job to use the body as position. Okay.
Oh, lots of contact by Tom Beck. And this may be a booking, and it is.
And that is deserved. The ball was out of play. The player was out of play. Into the book you go.
So that card sheet filling up right now as Beck goes in the 37th minute.
Cleveland SC only been beaten twice on the year. And if you take a look at it, their goal differential at the end of the regular season, plus 20. 29 goals for and 20 goals against. What that tells me, Neil, is this is a side that was not tested a whole lot. And when you get into a crucible of a playoff situation like this, where you're down 2-0 inside 10 minutes, and you're up against a team that can play. You gotta sit there and go, what are they gonna do, and how are you gonna respond? And right now, the mental game for Cleveland SC just hasn't been where it needs to be, and they've gotten out of control. And I think it comes from a lack of being tested.
Cleveland SC, to speak to your point, has not had a one-goal match since June 14th. That was a long while ago.
And I'll tell you what, if they're out of control in a quiet stadium here at Keyworth, if they get to Sunday's final, and so does Detroit City FC, imagine what the Northern Guard could do to wind up an Antonio Manfoot or some of these other players that have shown dissent early.
Manfoot's service played away, which is very surprising to see. Antonio Manfoot, he's a guy I've called in the Major Arena Soccer League in the past. During his time that he spent in that league with Syracuse, 6 seasons in the indoor game. I mean, he knows how to be a professional. He's played at a high level, 20-goal scorer in the MASL. It's just one of those things, I think, John, as you spoke about, they're not used to being in this position. And then to be down 2-0, 8 minutes in.
Against a team that played 12 hours ago?
Yeah.
Or got into Detroit 12 hours ago?
Long ball sent ahead, wide of the frame. Not really sure what the target was. There is Antonio Manfoot.
That's
2 goals against Rochester in the 4-0 win.
But look at his body language, Neil. That's a player. He doesn't look focused. He looks angry. Walking around kind of stalking. And there's a difference between angry and focused and channeling the energy. Otherwise, you're letting that energy bleed, and it can lead to rash plays.
Colton Long swings it to the left side, 39th minute. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Service inside the 18. That goes up towards the frame, but Andrew Coughlin will squeeze it. And, John, this match has flattened out a bit, maybe ever since the hydration break.
Well, I think the heat index you were talking about feels like 95 or feels like surface of the moon down there.
And it's been over 100 for most of the day here.
Yeah.
It's just since the sun went away with the clouds that it relented a little bit. So Vecco sent it through, but now Momic. Momic with the chip.
Careful.
Taken down by the keeper. That was right on the line of the 18. Musa will be booked with a yellow card.
All right, what the yellow card tells me is the official is saying you played the ball in your area, but you did not have control of the ball, which means your challenge earned you the card. Nice job to beat the offside trap. He comes in. Ebengwezi there.
Whoa.
Okay, well, he didn't play the ball. And he's outside his area, so that's not a situation. He's saying that's a physical challenge. And
now Manfoot's mixing it up.
Careful.
Verbally along the far sideline. He's already living on the edge with a yellow card. And this is the second time Ebengwese has been taken down to the turf. He is still down. He's not moving a lot. And some of the fans here at Keyworth calling for the red, as are possibly some of the Rochester players on the bench.
You know, I'm not gonna make a judgment on whether or not the official was right to show the yellow or the red. That's his decision, and I don't see enough, even in the replay, where I would say he definitely got it wrong. I would say it's always tough as an official, having talked with a lot of different officials in the game, especially when you know it's a one-and-done playoff situation, to show a red on.
It changes everything, and officials.
It does.
Officials, I know. I speak to the officials too. They don't want to decide matches.
Here's why I think they don't give him the red. There was a chance he could have played the ball, and Ebengwese didn't have full control of it. If Ebengwese had full control of it and gotten to the touch, and you took him out without playing the man, I think maybe you see red, and it's Cleveland down to 10. But since it was within the realm of the gray area of perhaps a 50-50 ball. He got the benefit of the doubt that he was trying to get in position to play the ball as opposed to taking out the man. That's the only thing I can speculate there. But it's so hard to make the decision to send off a man in a playoff game because you say to referees, well, what you should do is officiate the laws and not officiate the situation. But they're human. And that's
And the
a
game's
tough
moving
one.
fast.
Yeah.
You know, you got high-level players out here. We talked about All-Americans everywhere on the field. There certainly is.
The other thing to note is that the official on that near side would have been about level with the Absapure water sign near midfield, watching offside when that ball came over the top, and would have been racing back to be in position on that side, and might not have had the opportunity to give his first referee, the man in the middle, the look or the help that he might have needed, because the assistant referee was doing his job and staying level to guard and to watch the offside trap, and that's a tough run in on one of those long balls. So that is also a situation. Now, Ibengweze holding the back of his head. The trainer talking to him. He still holds the back of his head, and I think we're seeing the indication that there's a substitution, and this might be it for Ibengweze as they evaluate him for the head situation.
So Austin Gerber will check into this matchup. Gerber played his college soccer at Kuka College. Third all-time scoring during his time there. Scored 5 goals for Rochester last year and had a goal against Syracuse back on July 5th. So he is more than capable of finding the back of the net as well. So through all this, here comes the free kick, and it's Michael Cunningham. He's got one already here this afternoon, and he's just outside the 18. Cunningham blocked by the wall, and a corner coming up for Rochester.
And that's the first real attempt from him that we didn't see get in on frame. Normally very good on set pieces. He was due a not perfect one. And that one, the wall does its job. Coming up on the 45 minutes being completed as we get ready for the corner.
Corner driven in. Step through, and now it's played out where Wyatt Scott will settle it down. Vinny Bell turns with it. Outlets to Tom Beck. Beck's on the move, and he touches it to the middle. Nobody on the other side for Cleveland SC.
Probably going to have a lot of stoppage time at the end of the first half because of all the injuries. I would say somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes sounds about right. Looks like 4 from the fourth official. 4 minutes. So that seemed about right. Split the difference for what I thought it could be. Worth noting, by the way, we talked about not wanting to issue the red because it changes games. Also, the injury to Ibengweze changes the game, too. And so
certainly does.
Rochester Lancers fans will argue, well, if you don't want to change the game by not sending the keeper off, well, you are one of our top goal scorers and someone that's been difficult for the SC back line is now off the pitch. So in the interest of fairness, there's that other side to things. Big play there on that collision and the decision to award only the yellow.
We're in stoppage time of our stream brought to you by Baker College. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. It's been an intense first 45 minutes. Here from historic Keyworth Stadium. Derazic tried to find Manfoot. Manfoot now has it. Inside the 18, steps around. Chenchar to the middle. Yarzik had it for a moment. That foul will be called against Rochester. And, John, we talked a lot about Antonio Manfoot here this afternoon and mentioned the fact 6 seasons in the Major Arena Soccer League. You saw it during that last possession. Very good in the very tight spaces.
Absolutely. Good ball control. He's one of those players, we talk about it. You can keep the ball within a yard of your boot in that space. He's one of those players.
Ball sent towards the back post over the reach of Colton Long. Couldn't quite get on the end of it.
Hung up just a little bit. And Rochester's keeper will take his time. Andrew Coughlin, as the service comes in, kind of overcooked the grits a little bit. Allowed the defender to come in and shepherd him away to make that a non-factor.
Coughlin's goal kick was flicked on ahead towards the middle of the pitch, but Cleveland SC now 3 across the front with 2 ready to jump in.
That's a smart defensive touch.
Homich sent it ahead. Coming off the line was Musa.
You know, and I love the play of the forward from Rochester there. Run it all the way into the keeper. Make him make a collection and restart things.
Vinny Bell heads it ahead. Coming off the line and making the grab was Coughlin, but very nearly Tom Beck got there first.
I tell you what, Coughlin came off his line late.
He did.
And if it wasn't for a bounce, Beck beats him because he's coming forward. This is a great ball over the top and a great touch forward. Bad bounce. Just kind of checked sideways. He was there and the keeper came off the line late. Could have been 2-2 here in stoppage time.
Boy, how good's Vinny Bell been here tonight for Cleveland SC? He's been dangerous still in stoppage time, probably the waning moments of stoppage time.
Oh, it's a nice turn. What control in a turn to send that out and reset.
Schindler did the job. Derazic to the left. Coney Yarzik sent it through to the right side now. So Jorvik. Service inside the 18. There's a cross. And now Rochester will turn and burn down the pitch. And that will do it for the first half. Very exciting first 45 minutes of play here in the MPSL Midwest Regional Semifinal at historic Keyworth Stadium. But John, Rochester Lancers come out, stun Cleveland SC, put 2 on the board in the first 8 minutes. Cleveland SC bounces back, then it got very physical.
It did. Got chippy, and after the own goal, you know, we talked about the fact that the heat and things and wanting to accentuate that Rochester had to play last night, trying to just take those body punches, those body blows, and make that pay dividends in the second half. To play the man strategy doesn't have Cleveland level, but it has them in the game.
So we will take the halftime break as well. And your Baker College stream 2-1. Rochester with the lead. We'll be right back with the second half.
Who are you? Think about it. Is who you are now who you were meant to be? At Baker College, we want to help you be more. More curious, more productive, more effective, and be more successful at it all. We can help you be more prepared for the future and more inspiring to future generations. The world is full of opportunities to be more than the status quo. The question is, are you ready to be more? Who are you? Think about it. Is who you are now who you were meant to be? At Baker College, we want to help you be more curious, more productive, more effective, and be more successful at it all. We can help you be more prepared for the future and more inspiring to future generations. The world is full of opportunities to be more than the status quo. The question is, are you ready to be more?
So after a halftime break and a weather delay, we are back and ready to go here at historic Keyworth Stadium, the Midwest Regional semifinal between Cleveland SC and the Rochester Lancers. Lancers with a 2-1 lead. Let's take a look at how the party got started, and Michael Cunningham with a brilliant strike.
Don't dare a guy to go for the post if he can get it there. Too much room from the keeper. Couldn't get the takeoff he needed.
Second goal for the Rochester Lancers, and it was that guy Cunningham again, but this time a follow is what the difference was.
Again, goalkeeper a little too far over to his right. Dove couldn't really parry where he needed to, and Godoy, a nice job to follow and stay on side to poke it home.
Cleveland SC under the gun, and Vinny Bell would get credit for this one. He's a prolific goal scorer throughout his college career. He got a big one for Cleveland SC. That got him back in the match. They trail it 2-1. They will have the possession in the orange kits as our NPSL stream brought to you by Baker College starts for the second half. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you after a halftime break, after a weather delay for the Lightning in the area. So, John, their team's standing by for a long time here, about a 45-minute break when it was all told.
You know, you wonder who that benefits, Neil, and I think it benefits both teams, but for very, very different reasons. First of all, Rochester Lancers playing an amazing amount of games this week and having to go through all the things they had to just to qualify to get here, as we've talked about in the first half, playing on less than 24 hours rest after having to complete their quarterfinal in Erie, Pennsylvania last night, getting it here in 4 in the morning. But for Cleveland SC, really, I think the extra 15 minutes will be a chance for Ryan Osborne to talk to his team and settle them down. They were running kind of hot there in the last 20 minutes of the first half. A booking for dissent, another rough booking that could have been a red on their keeper. And so for them, they get a chance to just talk tactics and calm down. I look for them to be more composed here in the second half.
Beautiful ball sent through up the left side, but just out of the reach of Tom Beck. That couldn't quite catch up to it. So the throw in the corner coming up for Rochester. A 6-2-2 regular season mark. That was good for second in the Eastern Conference Division. Cleveland SC, of course, the division champions.
Cleveland SC already or has not used the sub so far today. Rochester Lancers have had to use one after their starting striker, Ngueze Ebengueze, was subbed off after taking a knock to the head on that challenge with Musa. It'll be interesting to see the substitution patterns on a day where the heat index on the Keyworth turf was above 100 degrees as the game began.
Some rain fell, and it has seemed to cool things off a bit. The humidity, though, still hanging in the air. Service sent in towards the 18. Played out. Squirts free at the top of the D, but now Rochester looking to control. That ball goes away from Austin Gerber, who came in to replace Ebengueze.
What that wet air does, by the way, Neil, it allows the ball to hang. It's easier to control. You can bend it, you can move it. It's the same kind of thing as and it will move for you. It's the same kind of thing as on a humid day of baseball, kind of going when it gets hit. So that humidity settling in can play a role here today.
McAvenue goes towards the left side of the 18. Vinny Bell, the target. He's been credited with a goal here today, and a foul will be called against Vinny Bell. He doesn't like the call. There are 4 yellow cards out there against Cleveland SC. Manfoot has 1, Long with 1, Beck with 1, Musa with 1. And as you touched on, that certainly is something that could play a factor.
And we're going to have a 5th one here.
Vinny Bell
going in for dissent.
So a 5th yellow card issued here in the 49th minute. And again, that just adds to a very dangerous sledding here for Cleveland SC.
Yeah, 5 of your starting 11 now are on yellow cards. And you and I were talking about this at halftime, and I made the point there, and I'll bring it up. Something starts to happen, and you see it with officials, and I call it the cumulative effect. Referees are supposed to judge every foul, every action on its own merit and adjudicate them by the laws of the game. But when you've had 2 yellow cards for dissent,
and you're a human being,
1 for a hard challenge and a couple more for studs tackles, you're going to start to say, look, stop running your mouth. And it ratchets up the possibility for bookings in the future just because you're done with the amount of mess you're getting from the team in orange.
Long pass sent up ahead, coming off the line to play it away. Mario Musa spent some time at the St. Louis Ambush of the Major Arena Soccer League. Played for the USA U17 national team as well, and there's a mixing bowl foul that will go against Admir Suljevic. So Suljevic hit with that foul call, and let's check it out again.
And leaves the legs in there. Interesting. There's that perhaps cumulative effect, but look, you just got to stop chirping. One of the things, and we were talking with some folks from the participating teams, apparently referees in the Eastern Division tend to let a little more contact go. This is a Great Lakes Conference official tonight, and he's calling it the way he's going to call it and the way he interprets the laws of the game to be called. And frankly, it is up to the participating teams to adapt to him, not him to adapt to the participating teams. One team is doing a better job of that right now, and that's Rochester Lancers.
51st minute. Rochester continuing to lead 2-1. 2 goals in the first 8 minutes. Momich on the left side against 2 defenders. Ball was taken away by Saveco. And that ball sent over top of everybody. And a goal kick coming up.
Speculative effort there.
Some pressure there from Rochester as the ball's played back by Cleveland SC. A 5-1 win over Buffalo their last time out. Split the season series with Rochester. They won 4-0 back on May 26th. Lost at Rochester 2-1. Uros Momich, the hero in that matchup for Rochester. Scored both goals, including the game winner. Domination for Cleveland SC with that 4-0 win as Musa recorded the clean sheet. Manfoot along the far right sideline.
That's a really nice job by Harling to get up and just beat his man to the ball and shepherd that out. Good intuitive play by the center back there to step in.
And not even the most impressive thing about Alex Harling, he can solve a Rubik's Cube in under 1 minute. He's gone on record as saying that, and of course Lindsey Pearson up here in the press box will be happy to hear. He's also a Chelsea fan.
Everyone has their faults. Although between the 3 of our soccer clubs, your Liverpool has a trophy, Lindsey's Chelsea has a trophy. My team has a second place medal from the Champions League, so I'm one to talk.
53rd minute. Cleveland SC with the better the possession here out of the locker rooms. Here's Manfoot. And the flag is up on the far sideline, so the offside call made. Much to the chagrin of Michael Derezik.
It's a stagnant start here, Neil. We've seen a couple of speculative balls. Look, it's a hot day. It takes a while to get the legs up and the body going at the full boil. You sat for an extra 15 minutes. I notice here, it's granted that's Rochester's keeper doing things, but you're taking extra time over free kicks, extra time over goal kicks. Look at Harling. That's just smart. That's a smart play. Get it back there. Let the ball get back to you.
Boy, nearly taken away from Rieger.
Oh, nice step over there.
And here comes a counter attempt. Austin Gerber makes his move, sends it wide. Momich, the cross, nobody on the other side temporarily, but Gerber will settle it down. Stepping through, right-footed shot is on frame. Boy, an absolute rocket hit by Michael Cunningham. He made a bid for the upper left 90.
Nice job, by the way, by Musa to make the body big there and get his wrist lock, okay, and get in there and not be soft with the hands. Soft in receiving, but not soft with the wrist to let the hand bend over and the ball go behind you. It's very important when you're going up to kind of take the sting off a ball like that and collect. Musa, after what I think are a couple of errors in the first half with the way he positioned himself on set pieces, saw it a little more there.
Benny Bell sets it up, comes all the way through, left side of the box. Tom Beck couldn't quite get it settled down to his liking, and that ball sent ahead. Here comes a quick counter. Gerber on the move. Gerber sends it all the way through. Don't think Gerber was aware he was on an island up there.
No, and he's just trying to do something with it. He's going to go up and put a shot on. If I'm him, I hold the ball up and get into a, position where you can get by with a little help from your friends. I really like Rochester's back four. I've liked them all game. I like the way their center backs take control of the area. I like the way the wing backs are first pressure and the center backs come in and allow, after the wing backs take the man off the ball, come in and collect. Very technically solid, incredibly technically solid back four. The only real hitch they had was, I think, the deflection that went off of Wyatt Scott for Cleveland's goal. But other than that, the back four has been outstanding.
Momich unable to keep it in along that touchline. Quick throw in by Corbin McAvenue. McAvenue spent some time playing for the U.S. Soccer Developmental Academy. Manfoot's cross in for Vinny Bell.
And another nice job to win the ball in the air by Harling. Just get up, composed, turned the head, looked around, knew he could head it clear. There was nobody coming in on a run behind him. Just take the danger away.
Corner served. Andrew Coughlin will make the catch. We're talking about Corbin McAvenue, plays his college soccer at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. Of course, new head coach there, Cale Wasserman. Some Detroit City fans familiar with his work.
We know that name.
Absolutely.
Good man.
Got a chance to work with him in the booth a couple of times here for Detroit City. He could have gave broadcasting a go. He was pretty good.
Knows the game and could communicate it well.
Yep.
And he'll do that to mentor players.
Derazic goes for Manfoot. Manfoot inside the 18. And the goal kick upcoming.
Manfoot wants a foul, but Manfoot lost his footing. And that's the ball just too far for him. He had to stretch out, try to make contact, and he's giving chase. And he comes in. He's never going to catch up to that ball. And, he's going to
appreciated the service, though.
Bit. Yep.
Coughlin booms it down the pitch. Bagley sent it ahead. Here's Gerber.
Careful.
That foul will go against Derazic.
He's one of the players not on a yellow, I don't think. So he's one of the few players with a safety net. But I think he's just going to get the bad boy talking to.
That was Tyler Bagley, who's still down on the pitch.
In fairness, Bagley did, he went for a slip and slide style roll after he hit the turf.
No athletic trainer on the pitch as of yet, as he gingerly tries to walk it off. And here comes a restart for Rochester. They continue to lead it 2-1.
This is not a go-on-goal thing, but a lot of space in between the lines.
Cunningham played it away. Nice looking back heel by Sljevic. Cleveland SC unable to do much with it. Turnover, here's Vinny Bell. Tom Beck was the NPSL National Player of the Week for Week 3. Along the touchline. Colton Long will wing it to the right side.
Credit to Austin Gerber, who has really, as Rochester sits back a little bit here, really is that man up top. He's running all over the place, constantly asking questions of the center backs on counters.
Saveco stepped through. Here's Vinny Bell at the top of the D. McAvenue chips it ahead. It's headed out confidently.
And the reason that attack didn't come to fruition, Neil, is on the first foray in, when the ball was at the top of the 6, Alex Harling made his body big and didn't allow the man down there to turn on the ball. They forced him to play it back, and the ball never really got in that tight again. Those are the little things that don't get noticed by a center back, the ability to hold your ground, not use the body, just make your body big. It's a smart play, and it's another good moment for that back four for Rochester.
Service inside the 18. Was poked away. But, John, you really get the feeling right now, Cleveland SC leaning on Rochester.
Yeah, they are believing that they're going to have gas in the tank at the end of this game, and they're just going to try to keep asking questions. It's worth noting that Rochester, they have the back four, and they've got a midfield. It's almost like a 4-3-2-1 right now. And that midfield three is sitting back and tight.
Sent inside the 18 again, Vinny Bell. Able to get ahead on it, but instead Andrew Coughlin will make the grab. Vinny Bell continues to be a target. Already has credit for a goal here this afternoon into the evening.
This is good service, but Bell, it goes behind Bell, and the only reason he couldn't get power on it, Neil, he had to kind of lean back at that 45-degree angle. Tough to then pull forward and get the power you want. You want that 90-degree angle straight up and down to be able to move forward with it.
Quick touch by Momic. Attempted 1-2. Now Rochester beginning to show a little bit of pressure. Situational.
And this is what you need if you're Rochester. Force the center backs back into their own half. You know, as you called it, Cleveland leaning on Rochester. Where you see that leaning is the further and further the center backs creep forward. They'll start back in their own third. Then they'll be on the halfway line. Then they'll be on the attacking side of the center circle. Then they'll come forward. And the further they come forward, yes, it leaves you vulnerable to the counter, but it also compacts the field and allows for quicker return to service that puts pressure on the back line. Rochester just needs to keep the play in midfield a little bit, force that center back pair back, force the midfield back into midfield.
Ball chipped ahead looking for Gerber. And Rochester will win the throw. Wyatt Scott moves over. Played his college soccer at Butler. All he did there was go to 4 NCAA tournaments in the Sweet 16 in 2017.
Ho-hum college career.
Yeah. Scored a goal against Syracuse back on July 5th. He is a Spurs fan, John, so you
Good
do
man.
like that. Here's Vinny Bell. Bell gives one a rip, and a diving stop made by Coughlin.
That's Coughlin's best save of the day.
Another opportunity. Sent wide again for Bell. He calms it. Bell has it poked away by Wyatt Scott. His cross goes over top. There's a Rochester player down on the turf right inside the 18. McAvenue made his move and will win a corner.
This is a beautiful, there's that ball to Bell that Coughlin goes and collects.
That just goes to show you, though, the level of target he has
Yep.
been as of late.
Absolutely. And the corner coming. Where is Bell? Looks like he's on the back post. Just
There.
outside the 6-yard box. That means he's going to be taking a run in. Right now, he's got about 3 yards of space. Need to get someone tighter to him. Rochester giving him a lot of room.
Derazic in for the corner. He scored the goal against Rochester back on June 2nd in that 2-1 Cleveland SC loss. This time trying to facilitate.
Bell right now being marked, it looks like, by a midfielder. And by Momich as well.
Substitution coming up for Rochester. Isaac Kesey getting loose.
We might have a corner one of these days. Oh, there we go.
Sent in towards Bell. Bell heads it over the line.
The sub coming in is Kesey, the Dayton Flyer. Let's see who makes way.
So Isaac Kesey coming in. The 42nd pick of the 2010 MLS draft by Kivas. Played in 50 matches for the Rochester Rhinos in USL. Very experienced. He will replace Jordan Sullivan.
So Sullivan comes off. Kesey a forward, Sullivan midfield. Be interesting to see if they drop Gerber back or if they play with a front two.
Looks like they're going to go with the front two, at least initially.
Well, no, Gerber has come back. He's on the halfway line. That man who was up front is Momich. Very interesting. So a little bit of a switch in formation there as they drop Gerber from where he's been up top back into midfield.
Rieger plays it ahead. Kesey on the right side. 1v1 against Colton Long. The touch too heavy. And Long reaps the benefits.
The touch about half a yard too heavy, but really you got to give credit where credit is due to Colton Long. Nice job to just kind of use his backside. Come in, use the backside just to kind of shepherd his man away and give himself the position on the ball. That's just a heads-up little defensive play. So we've had some stoppage time here already as we play the 67th minute. I would say we'll see at this point a minimum of 2 minutes.
More substitutions will be on the way as well. Here comes Cleveland one more time. Coney Yarzik played it across, but now it will trickle back to the keeper, Musa.
You know, this is shaping up, Neil, for the last 20-some minutes of this match to be a defense versus attack drill. You just see the way Rochester is setting up in defense, trying to clog the passing lanes, almost ceding the fact that the way they're going to create things is on the counter and on the counter only, and making it an all hands to the pump situation and just trying to shut down the attack of Beck and Bell and shutting down Cleveland as opposed to trying to create more offense. But with a 2-1 lead, you have the luxury to do that.
So we move into the 69th minute. So just over 20 minutes remaining in this one. And you will notice this, as you see really in every match. Once you get in the 70s, the screws start to tighten. Here's McAvenue making a move. McAvenue over top of everyone and over top of the suites here at historic Keyworth Stadium.
Would have gotten 3 points for the field goal through the football goalpost, but I don't think those count here.
So Coughlin will step it off, line it up, take another look down the pitch, puts a right boot to it. That battle won by Chanchar. And here's Gerber with some space to turn, and he does. Gerber makes a move to the right side. Gerber's cross is blocked. Will that go over for a corner? It will.
Kesey, when Gerber took that ball on the near side, Kesey went in and set up camp right in front of the keeper. They were clearly setting up for him to try to win an aerial battle.
Well, Kesey has some good size out there on the pitch. I mean,
He's a big boy.
You look at him and you know he's worthy of being a former MLS draft pick and a longtime USL player.
And it also shows he's taking care of the body.
Corner. A little too much mustard on the hot dog as it scoots across the far touchline. Chanchar will go to Colton Long in Cleveland SC. Begin to matriculate it up the pitch. Ball finds Vinny Bell. Suljevic hesitates. He drops it off. 1-2 build up nicely done with Saveco. Derazic trying to make a move. And Manfoot shielded off.
Goes
by Alex Harling.
Goes into the advertising hoardings and, of course, has a word for the official. We got a substitution coming, but I don't know who that substitute. It will be for number 25 for Cleveland. Coming on, Daniel Ruppel, the midfielder, is coming on. Who makes way?
Ruppel, the 2016 Kentucky Gatorade High School Player of the Year, was a Division III All-American last year at Baldwin-Wallace. Went for 14 goals, 10 assists with 3 game winners. That'll get you All-American honors.
So Ruppel comes on. I didn't see who gave way for Cleveland.
I hear Rieger's name being called.
So it looks like, was it Manfoot that came off? Manfoot comes off. So he's on. That's one player on a booking and with the ability to express an opinion that has been removed here for the last 19 minutes plus. So he will get to watch proceedings.
Vinny Bell sends a ball up into space. Cross inside the 18, not much on it. And it transitions out to Austin Gerber. Colton Long makes a mistake. Kesey on the move. Kesey crosses over. Back heel. Goes down. The official says play on.
Good decision by the referee. Very good decision. That was Kesey asking for something that was not anywhere near. Good decision.
And that foul will be whistled down.
And I think we're gonna,
Derazic
hold on. We got a booking, and was he already on one? No, that's
Derazic was
Derazic.
not.
He was not. That's going to be a booking for dissent. He wasn't going for his card until Derazic had something to say, and he's still chirping, Neil. He's having to be restrained by his teammates.
Well, Derazic right now just needs to turn around and go back as
And now
the
he's
athletic training staff from Henry Ford will come back out onto the pitch.
And I go back to it. Listen, Cleveland's been chirping all match. It is not the referee's job to call the game the way you think it should be called. The referee on the pitch is God. That's all there is to it. There's no VAR here. For the 90 minutes you're on a football pitch, the referee is wholly and completely God. And if you don't like the way he's calling it, you got to deal with it. That's all there is to it. And now you've had, I don't think I've ever seen 3 yellow cards for dissent, ever. And Cleveland is putting themselves in a situation where now they took, it's a ball in the air. It's not the most sure foul, but you could see where it's called, and you make gestures. This is telling me you're more worried about the official and what Rochester is doing than you are about trying to tie up the football match. And that's not a good thing.
Clock continues to move as that ball is played over the line. Throwing coming up for Cleveland SC. 75th minute. Screws continue to tighten little by little. Of course, the winner moves on. Sunday, 1 p.m. Midwest Regional Championship against the winner of Detroit City FC, Minneapolis City. They will square off around 7:30. We will have that action for you.
And I will say this, I like the decision to make it a Friday-Sunday regional instead of a Friday-Saturday regional as it was 2 years ago. Gives the teams an off day.
Gives you a better quality championship match,
yes,
no question about it. Corner coming up here for Cleveland. There's a good look at Corbin McAvenue. Be playing for Cale Wasserman next college season. Corner served. And again, that Rochester back line, John, continues to win every battle off these corner pieces.
Yeah, good in the air and straight as an arrow across. Doesn't allow for the offside trap to be beat. Good positioning. When one goes up to play the ball, 2 or 3 more get in a position where they can clear it away.
And once again, they win. That ball comes out. Shot sent wide to the right side of the frame. Chenchar gave it a rip.
Although that
comes up empty.
It was a little more speculative from that distance.
Off the volley as well, little half volley. As the train leaves town, you see in the background of your picture.
The old Norfolk and Southern?
Yeah, the train will be leaving town for one of these two teams. 77th minute.
I see what you did there, partner.
Sometimes, man, you got to set the segue up for yourself. Give yourself a high five and move on. Good build up. McAvenue. I'll tell you what, Corbin McAvenue has found some space last 20 minutes of this match. Ruppel's across. That's headed away. Dangerous spot inside the 18. Whistle and a foul is called. Tyler Bagley laying on the turf. I didn't quite get a good look at it as the ball was going away.
Here he comes
but
in.
Our camera people did.
Yeah, he got hammered to the ground. That's a foul. Good job by our camera crew to catch that. That's a heck of a job. Comes through, gives him a little cuff to the back of the head, and then their bench whines because it's a foul. That's a foul. Sorry.
Boy, Suljevic did get very aggressive with that right elbow.
That's a heck of a job by our camera crew to pick that up.
Goal kick sent ahead. Kesey. Touch a little heavy, but he will win the throw-in. '78th minute. The plot continues to thicken here at Keyworth. Rochester Lancers scored 2 goals in the first 8 minutes. Cleveland SC got one back, but are chasing the equalizer.
We haven't had scoring since midway through the first half, as these teams grind it out here on a very hot day in Detroit.
There's Colton Long one more time to that right side.
And immediately when he sends it into the attacking third, that third defender coming right up into the play. The center back pair is being forced to respect Kesey, so they're staying back, but really it's a back two right now for Cleveland.
Vinny Bell continues to be a target, and there's a look at Isaac Kesey. His day job is a traveling nurse.
That's a nice step over and an even better job to use the body to dispossess the ball for a moment.
Here's Vinny Bell giving one a wrap, but that one will trickle over the goal line. Was it deflected?
Corner.
It was. A corner coming up.
Good job by the assistant on the far side to get his flag down to the referee to show that there was a deflection.
'80th minute.
And now the question is, where do they line up Vinny Bell? About 11 yards out.
Goes towards the middle, and once again it's headed away temporarily. Right foot shot, sent over top and wide. I believe that was Koniarzik.
And that effort on goal as it gets shepherded away. See, you got friends in the box there. He was getting ready to tee up and shoot a moving ball. I almost at that point control that, see who I have around me. Because to be able to, as the ball's rolling towards you, to be able to turn your body and get it on frame, that's a tougher shot than it looks.
That ball won by Colton Long temporarily. But here is Austin Gerber getting on the end of it. Gerber's cross in! It's buried in the back of the net! Uros Momic strikes! A huge goal for Rochester. They take a 3-1 lead here in the 81st minute.
Momic is going to get credit for the goal. They should be saluting Gerber for the wonderful way he absolutely owned the defender for Cleveland to poke the ball through, turn on the jets, and step around and in. And beautiful service. And 3-1 now with 10 to go. And Rochester, after having to play their quarterfinal over 3 days in 2 states and a trip back home to New York in between, is 10 minutes away from the Midwest Region Final.
Cleveland SC now with their backs to the wall, down by 2. In the 82nd minute, Coughlin makes that grab. And now it will be all hands on deck. They figure Cleveland SC will start bombing forward right about now.
Yeah, you're going to see they've got a couple of substitutions they can make. As I take a look at players on their bench, they've got Sabolix Wiskel, who can come in as a forward. You've got a couple of midfielders you can bring on for maybe your wingbacks for some more pace if you want it. But it's got to be press now. And Momic gets the goal, but Gerber with a heck of a step around to just burn his defender and get open to create the service. Well against the run of play. And now Rochester Lancers in the catbird seat here at Keyworth.
And a corner awarded and not much urgency.
Yeah, he's going to take a trudge over there, inspect all the stitching on the ball, probably put it out over the quadrant so the assistant makes him come back and replace it.
Wants it inspected to make sure it's conforming.
Pull out an air pressure gauge.
But that's the chair they have in the match right now. Kesey, the target. Looked like he was going to give the cycle attempt a go.
2 things, and we got a yellow card coming to Kesey for a foul. So Kesey on a booking for a foul in the box, as he fouled Chanchar, I believe. So 2 things are going to happen here for Cleveland. They're going to try to push forward, I think, and get that goal. If they feel it start to slip away and they feel like they don't have the chance, watch for this to get a little chippy, because this is not a happy club right now.
It hasn't been really all evening long as Colton Long sends it over top of the frame. I'll tell you what, we've talked a lot about as another substitution coming up. Alex Naguki will come in for Cleveland State. Horizon League first team performer back in 2016 for the Vikings.
He comes in for Koniarczyk. So a midfielder for midfielder switch. Just some fresh legs on to try and run. And his remit is going to be, you have about 14 minutes left to go. Run, run, run some more, and run after that. That's all he's there to do, to try to create situations.
Flag would have gone up, but here comes Cleveland SC as Musa outlets. I'll tell you what, given the conditions and the physicality of this match, Bri Gauna, the athletic trainer from Henry Ford, tip of the cap to her. That ball served in towards Bell. Double fist punch away, chip towards the left corner, and it's a goal for Cleveland SC. They are in with a shout, a quick retaliation, and the goal scored. Derazic strikes, it's 3-2.
And that is entirely a keeper error, Neil. That is Andrew Coughlin punching when he should have had the position to and could have caught. That's a crowded box. He tried to punch. It was a low punch. Got it back down on the turf. If you're going to punch, you got to punch high. And look at this coming in. He chose to punch. Nobody around there could have caught it. Punch is low. It got down on the turf. There was a shooting lane, and it's 3-2.
So Cleveland SC not done yet. We cross over into the 86th minute. Good drama developing on a very warm afternoon into the evening at Keyworth Stadium. That ball touched through. Vinny Bell inside the 18, had it for a moment. Kesey unable to catch up to it.
And now the momentum shifts entirely to Cleveland right now, because now if you're Rochester, the thing that creeps in the back of your head is not, let's go close it out. It's, don't blow it. You start playing not to lose.
Vinny Bell inside the 18. Vinny Bell almost freed up some space. And now it's a foot race. Cunningham can't quite catch up to it. Cleveland SC will continue to move forward. Bell the target one more time. That's flicked on, and a corner awarded off of Jake Schindler.
And they're calling the center backs up and in. So everybody's going to come forward. They want 11 in the box. They don't necessarily have it, but the center backs have come far forward.
That ball headed up and over. Colton Long, the target, able to make some contact on the header. We're in the 87th minute.
And again, the keeper going to take his time. He would even gladly take a yellow card for time wasting.
There's Coughlin sending it down the pitch, and that shot in your screen tells you the whole story right now. Batten down the hatches and survive the next 6-7 minutes, whatever it is.
And that's a nice job by Rochester. Look out on the counter.
Bagley makes his move.
Nobody
Bagley
coming forward. There it is.
sends it wide to the left. Here's Cunningham. Cunningham's shot is blocked. And that ball will make it over the line for a throw. That will happen in about 30 seconds, I'm guessing.
At least. That wasn't right ball. Send one back to the ball, kid.
Scott tosses it in.
It's now a back five for Rochester Lancers. And it is not a particularly well-formed back five. There it goes. Nice better line.
That formed into a back six there for a moment. Rupel, his cross goes all the way through.
And Cleveland,
Coughlin looked like he got a late jump on that one again.
he did. Came off his line very late, and the Cleveland FC players, claiming that the attacker's shirt was held that didn't allow him to catch up to the ball. But again, that's a tough jump off the line for Coughlin. He looks very uncertain in the last few minutes.
It's a pressure cooker. Midwest Regional Semifinals of the MPSL.
We'll check to see how much extra time will be given as we come into the 89th minute. Fourth referee, Donovan Nucha. Fourth official.
Suljevic through the middle. Cleveland SC will give it another run. Naguki. Drop back McAvenue. McAvenue service. Vinny Bell, the target, headed on! And we are level at 3! An incredible turn of events. Tom Beck at the back post. 3-3 the score. It's all to play for here in Hamtramck.
Wow. Back from the dead with 10 minutes to go. The service, Rochester playing the front man. They didn't see the unmarked runner. They had marked the first man and didn't see Beck unmarked making a run on a ball at the back post, and he was able to put the full faith and credit of his header behind it. Get ready for extra time.
Well, we'll still have a pretty good chunk of stoppage time. And you have two very tired teams, I'm sure, out on the pitch. Anything can happen.
Detroit City FC players were out getting taped. They may have to wait a while.
So McAvenue with tremendous service, and here comes Cleveland SC again. Suljevic dropped it back. Here's McAvenue. McAvenue sends it up towards the 18. That almost got through to Vinny Bell. The top of the D, ball cleared out. And that foul will go against Colton Long.
Careful, and he's already on a booking.
Long in the 31st minute. What a Kesey? Kesey got hit with that call.
That's what I was worried about. He was on the booking. And then Colton Long chirping at the referee, also on a booking. Right now it's advantage Cleveland SC.
All the momentum in the world, no question.
You're down 2-0, 2-1 at the half. You're down 3-1 with 10 minutes to go against the run of play. You come back and draw level.
As the wind picks up, too, here at Keyworth.
And it is blowing in its prevailing direction from our right to our left. We see that a lot for Detroit City matches. And the concrete bleachers here will funnel that wind. That makes set pieces down at the suite's end very difficult. And that's a keeper already down there we've seen make a couple miscues. So that'll help Cleveland SC here.
Here's Rieger to throw it in. Tried to sneak it through to Kesey, but instead Rieger will try to find Kesey again. One more time unsuccessful. Popped out towards midfield. Wyatt Scott gives way to Vinny Bell. Rupel making a run up the left side. And that's where Vinny Bell was trying to go. Incredible turnaround for Cleveland SC.
And I didn't see how much extra time there was. We didn't get a signal like we did in the first half from Donovan Nucha. I would bet it's about 5 minutes, and I would bet we have played about 3 of that, if I were a betting man. So if these teams stay level, 30 minutes of extra time, and then that thing nobody wants to talk about, if we're still level.
As the flag goes up.
Unfortunately, the wind has worked the barrier or the restraining straps loose on the Northern Guard's tifo that we may see before they wanted to unveil it on the far side. As the wind freshens here at Keyworth Stadium.
Saveco calmed it down along the right sideline. 1-2 build up. Inside the box. Back heel, Vinny Bell. Shot is blocked. Benches wanted a hand called.
That was so close.
McAvenue's service. One more time, headed away. Corner kick upcoming. Cleveland SC dominating the run of play. Trying to get things moving for a corner attempt.
Kesey comes back into the area to play defense. Ball bouncing around in the area.
Corner sent in, headed away, and we will do it again from the other side this time.
And there, all those bounces in the area, and nobody could bring it down. High bounces.
Corner service back inside. Kesey played it out. Side volley attempt.
Goal kick.
By Naguki. And the goal kick coming up.
If you go extra time, Neil, frankly, it's got to be advantage Cleveland SC all the way. If for nothing else than sheer gas left in the tank because of the route Rochester had to take to get here. If you are unfamiliar with the situation, they traveled to Ann Arbor on Tuesday night. That match couldn't be completed because of darkness. There was some debate as to how the match should be concluded. The teams agreed to go to Erie, Pennsylvania and play the rest out. Wins to extra times and penalties, and we have extra time again.
The whistle sounds. We have reached full time. We will do 2 15-minute overtime sessions. And if the match is still tied, penalty kicks will follow to determine a winner.
So
we will
minutes.
take a break, come back, get you the extra time. 2 15-minute sessions coming up next. We're tied at 3. Don't go anywhere.
Who are you? Think about it. Is who you are now who you were meant to be? At Baker College, we want to help you be more. More curious, more productive, more effective, and be more successful at it all. We can help you be more prepared for the future and more inspiring to future generations. The world is full of opportunities to be more than the status quo. The question is, are you ready to be more?
Welcome back inside Keyworth Stadium. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you. Extra time just getting started. Cleveland SC, who trailed by 2 on multiple occasions, scores 2 goals in the final 5 minutes of regulation to level this match at 3, and here we are. Everything on the line. A season will come to a close, and also one team will advance to Sunday's Midwest Regional Championship. Who will that be? We got 2 15-minute sessions, possibly penalties, to find out.
Bright start from Cleveland. Already pressing. A brighter start than we had either from the match or from halftime for Cleveland SC. They smell blood in the water a little bit right now, Neil. And they're continuing to press Rochester Lancers. And you wonder how much gas is left for Rochester after their week.
Vinny Bell, who's been the target oftentimes here tonight, the target one more time. And that ball goes over the line, a throw-in coming up. Jeremy Lankow tosses it in. Lankow trying to find Kesey. Pressure comes, but instead making the turn was Suljevic. Rupel on the left side. Rupel's cross. Bell was a target again. Good shield and turn by Momic, and the foul will be called. And keep in mind also, there are 6 Cleveland SC players playing under a booking right now. Manfoot, who got the first booking, has been subbed for.
But his replacement quickly picked up a booking.
Absolutely.
So as not to be out of character.
Third minute here. 90 minutes plus, not sufficient.
Interesting positionally, Neil. What had been a pretty straight line back 4 for Rochester, now kind of 3 at the back.
Vinny Bell makes his way through! Vinny Bell in the lower left-hand corner of the goal puts Cleveland SC up for the first time here tonight. It's a brace for Bell.
His second of the night gives his team the lead, and a nice class piece of forward play, slotted cool as you like. Nice touch out of midair, nice leave through, nice dummy there. And Bell just muscles around his man, sees the lane, and puts it in the corner. Not a whole lot Coughlin could do if he comes out. Bell can leave that off. He had runners on the back post. Good placement of the shot, and the number 1 overall seed, who trailed 2-0 after 7 minutes, now leads 3-2 as Bell's goal in the 94th gives them the advantage. And now it's all about killing things off for them.
Interesting here for the Rochester Lancers. Their head coach, Doug Miller, who is an active player this evening, has come into the match in the 94th minute.
Yeah, they had a number of guys that are on their squad list that didn't make the trip.
Harling makes his way through 2 defenders. The cross, that shot ripped, will go wide of the left post by Tyler Bagley.
So Rochester still moving and doing a nice job of trying to get the equalizer, playing from behind. Much more aggressive as they try to chase the game now. First real attacking intent we've seen from them, frankly, since they got their 3rd goal.
Saveco. A two-time Division III All-American at Case Western as well. Was a three-time All-Conference first-teamer. Harling. This cross played low. Actually snuck its way through.
I think he dragged it behind his intended target.
That ball played into empty space in the corner. And that tells you all you need to know. That shot on your screen right now.
Yeah, Cleveland is not worried about advancing the ball.
No, they are going to try to do what Rochester could not.
Kill it off.
Secure a lead and make your way to Sunday's regional championship right here at Keyworth Stadium at 1 p.m. And for those of you watching, of course, I would imagine this puts the Detroit City FC Minneapolis match into a delay. Suljevic has it at midfield. Naguki touches it wide to the right, but you see really no impetus for Cleveland SC to try to build up an attack. Here's Ruppel making a move. Vinny Bell, he's got two and some space. Vinny Bell still with it. Shot deflected, a corner awarded. But Vinny Bell continues to be a problem.
Bell with a nice job to go parallel and keep the ball kind of on his outside boot, work away from a defender, and then just dragged a little bit wide off the deflection. But a beautiful job when he's going parallel to goal to keep the ball. Look at how close that ball is to his boot. Just keeps it right that about half a yard in front of his boot. Works around the defender, just deflected before he could turn and finish.
Almost halfway through this first extra time session. Corner serve towards Vinny Bell. Headed away by Cunningham. Cunningham got all this started in the second minute for Rochester, but that seems like a lifetime ago.
Been a lot of twists and turns in this match since. But Rochester, if their dream ends tonight, will rue two goal leads in this contest. And rue it even more because for me, the first goal for Cleveland was an own goal off Wyatt Scott.
Derazic set it up towards that right side.
Careful.
That will be a booking on the grab.
Professional foul there. He was going to be away in space.
Suljevic, the guilty party. So he's playing on a yellow. The 99th minute.
So that's 7 players on the pitch now with a yellow for Cleveland SC. That is beyond living a charmed life, Neil Rule.
Kizzy flicks it on, and that will go over the line, so a goal kick upcoming.
It would be interesting to see what would happen if one of those players for Cleveland picks up that second yellow and where it happens and how that changes things. So far, they have not allowed the fact that they were playing on a yellow adjust the way they play the game. They're still playing physical, but you got a lot of guys got to watch out.
And some liberties taken with the real estate on that throw. Christian Vorovenci will reel it back in. Sent wide to the right side. Here's Doug Miller. Miller's cross. Nobody available for Rochester to capitalize, but they do get a throw.
And it's still a throw in the attacking third. Nice job to play it back and set it up.
Godoy. That nearly got through, and it did to Harling. Harling's cross popped up in the air.
Give credit to Rochester, Neil. They're still fighting.
Godoy sends it through. Vinny Bell lurking in a 1v1 situation. Kesey pops it up towards the top of the D. It's flicked on. Kesey with it! That's in the back of the net! Unbelievable! Isaac Kesey strikes, and we're level at 4.
Kesey, everyone will focus on the finish. The thing of beauty was the overhead chip that allowed him to set up the 1-2. Sheer utter class. Watch this. Whoops, whoops. And let me get it back and keep my run going and fight through a challenge. That's a heck of a touch to set up the 1-2. Well done, sir. There's a reason he was an MLS Super Draft pick. He keeps the body in shape, and the traveling nurse provides the elixir, and Rochester come level.
50 matches started in the USL for the Rochester Rhinos. As class shows out, and we are level again. Are you guys not entertained here on this Baker College stream?
And, you know, these are two Eastern Conference rivals. They've seen each other before, and they have to meet here. It's tough when you play that team out of your conference. Detroit City FC saw that 2 years ago, getting the best of AFC Ann Arbor in the regional final. And we have seen an absolute battle fitting of both sides here in the first 101 minutes, with 19 more plus stoppage to go.
You forget that, too. There's still almost 20 minutes to play. And, of course, that brings back into the discussion. Vinny Bell's shot is blocked. That brings back into the discussion the possibility of that word you don't like to speak of.
And we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Nope. Don't like them. Don't like the way to describe it. About the only worst way to describe it or to handle it is a coin flip. But that's kind of how it is.
Corner upcoming. On frame, the shot got all the way through, and the stop was made by Coughlin. Oh boy, Suljevic almost put Cleveland SC back up. And here comes a counter the other way. Harling making a run. Instead, they go to the far left side. Can Miller get on the end of it? He keeps it in, but can't catch back up to it.
This game is wide open, and there is absolutely no shape offensively or defensively right now.
And you know what? I'm fine with it. This is fun right now.
This is schoolyard soccer.
Kesey, wide to the left. A little too much mustard on the hot dog. Gets away from Doug Miller, and everybody needs a blow right now. We're in the 114th minute on a 90-plus degree day.
It's going to be a long night here at Keyworth, Neil. We've still got a match to come. It's interesting. Some of the Northern Guard have come in as the march to the match begins, and they're taking up positions on the fence line. You wonder who they want to win this game. If you're a DCFC player, look out. There's a foul. Oh, the drum beats. So the Northern Guard coming across. Now the atmosphere is going to ratchet up in here as if it needed any help.
Suljevic swings it out wide to the left side. Here's Rupel. Makes his move. His cross is blocked, but it will go out for a corner as we cross into the 105th minute.
All right, corner here. Where's Bell? Now Bell takes up his traditional position. Bellin back on the same side of the pitch. Bell early near the 6, Beck behind him.
Service goes back post. That's headed through. That went off the back of the head of Vinny Bell. Not on purpose, as Tom Beck, who has a goal in this match.
And I think they were setting up the same play as the equalizer. Keon Bell, have Beck come in behind him, have Bell duck down, and have Beck take the full force header. And the deflection cost them.
There the Detroit City FC squad looks on. The whistle sounds. That is the end of the first extra time session. A goal by each side. We started level at 3. We'll do the second 15 level at 4. And we will take a break, come back, and get you the end of this one. Don't go anywhere. We're level at 4. This is the MPSL Midwest Regional Semifinals.
Who are you? Think about it. Is who you are now who you were meant to be? At Baker College, we want to help you be more. More curious, more productive, more effective, and be more successful at it all. We can help you be more prepared for the future and more inspiring to future generations. The world is full of opportunities to be more than the status quo. The question is, are you ready to be more?
Back inside historic Keyworth Stadium, we roll on. 105 minutes, not enough to decide this one. We are level at 4. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you. And our NPSL Midwest Regional Semifinal stream brought to you by Baker College. This match has had everything you could want. Goals, cards, physicality, brilliance. It's been a veritable buffet of perfect soccer.
And you know what? The result as it is right now is it fits the performance of both teams.
I would agree.
You know, that Rochester Lancers are not lucky to be level. Cleveland SC are not lucky to be level. The momentum has gone back and forth in this match. Really, you know, we talked about the way that the end of the first half of extra time really wide open. I think both sides will want their shapes to tighten up because now you're level again and you don't want to give something away, and things kind of got out of control. Fun to watch for the neutral and for us, but they're going to clearly want to tighten up the shape a little bit at the back for both sides.
Cleveland SC in those orange kits will possess, and away we go. The final 15 minutes. That's the one thing I know for sure. This will be the final 15 minutes of this match.
The question is whether or not we've got that thing I don't like to talk about afterwards.
And that is what remains to be seen. Suveko plays it wide to the left. Alex Naguki. He goes wide to the right. Beck has it. Beck's cross! Vinny Bell! A hat trick! Cleveland SC goes back on top 5-4.
Coughlin just didn't react, Neil. Bell kept his run going. The defenders just stopped. Cleveland SC kept the pedal down, and Rochester just stopped. Watch this. There's the service in. Nobody moving. Coughlin not moving. Come out and try to claim. There was nobody around. You come down, dive, and try to punch that, and Bell just waiting. Beats his man, an easy tap in, and it's a hat trick for Vinny Bell.
The two-time All-American has been All-American here today. With his club up against it, down by 2 goals on multiple occasions. Vinny Bell stands tall. Puts forth a hat trick. Tom Beck in the corner. Tried to make a turn. That goes over the line. And a goal kick upcoming. And now the pressure on the Rochester Lancers again. And we have a player down on the pitch.
So now with Cleveland FC, we've got a stoppage here. Is that a substitution, or are we just?
Tom Beck is down.
And
calling for some type of fluids.
I think you're going to see some cramping start a little bit, Neil, here.
Bree Gauna, the athletic trainer, out on the pitch. And she has been often this afternoon into the evening. 5-4 the score. Cleveland SC is struck again in the second extra time session. So Bree with Henry Ford has certainly earned her pay this afternoon. All this in between getting players ready for the next match as well. And there a substitution will be called for. So Tom Beck will come out. It was Beck that leveled this match in the 90th minute for Cleveland SC. The sub will come on. Kurt Rainey plays his college soccer at Baldwin Wallace, had 3 goals and 5 assists last year. Checks in.
And that's a tough way for Beck's day to end, really. You know, you go down, you take an injury, they're doing what's best for you physically. You're 12 minutes away from having a regional final to play on Sunday. But he's been a force in this game, and it'd be interesting to see how much the substitution changes things.
And Rainey does come in with very fresh legs. We're 109 minutes deep. Schindler getting involved in some extracurriculars, and Schindler will get a yellow as the frustrations boil over.
Oh, boy.
If you're Rochester right now, though, you have to keep the eye on the prize as you're down by a goal.
Yeah, you equalized last time you were down. Just settle down.
And there's 11 minutes and change left possibly in your season.
Was it 2 yellows? Hold on, did they show 2?
They got a yellow, which he did. It's a red.
2 yellows and a yellow. He gets a retaliation foul, and off he goes. And now with 10 to go, it's a whole new game.
Suljevic got a yellow in the 99th minute and now gets hit with another one. Boy, oh boy. Boy, can this match
have any
change course any more than it has?
No, you know what? You can't. And if memory serves, he picked up the foul in the 99th minute for a cheapie. And then you go in and you retaliate there.
Was that the quote-unquote professional foul on the attempted counter?
Yeah.
I believe it was.
Picks up the did his job. Now he's over on the bench. He should go back to the dressing room unless they don't have the dressing room right now because Minneapolis is in it.
So here we go again now. Cleveland SC playing with 10 men. Trying to protect a goal lead. Wyatt Scott as they will move forward. That ball hoofed back out towards the midfield line. Here's Rainey stepping through, and keep in mind, you also have Vinny Bell lurking, who has a hat trick on his resume this evening.
Now here's the interesting of note, Neil. I'll have to check with the DCFC folks on the rules in lower division soccer. But I believe that 2 yellows carries a 1-match ban, which means that Suljevic would not be eligible for the regional final.
If they are able to hold on down a man.
So we'll have to check as to how lower division rules work that out. I know in professional leagues, a straight red is a 3-match ban, 2 yellows is a 1-match ban. If that holds true further down the pyramid, Suljevic is done until the minimum of the national semifinal. If they get that far.
Here comes the Rochester Lancers. Momich tried to make an individual play. Rieger will spin off of Vinny Bell.
Let me give you a preview of the next 11 minutes. Anytime Cleveland gets the ball, hoof, hope, reposition.
Here comes Bagley. That ball squirts free. Off the bounce, that shot trickled in on frame. Boy, Doug Miller, the coach, gave that one a go. Couldn't get very much on it.
Kesey on the other side on the other post was screaming for his coach to get the ball back to him, and I don't think Miller saw him.
Kesey has a goal in the 101st minute of this one.
Listening to some of the offerings from the supporters side, it appears that they are fully and completely in the Rochester Lancers camp. They don't have a whole lot of affinity for the state of Ohio over in the Northern Guard. So I think Rochester Lancers just got a whole lot of new fans.
Musa booms that one out towards midfield. Vinny Bell gets up in the mix for it. Dan Rieger played for Rochester last year. Trying to add his name to the lore of the Rochester Lancers.
Let's talk positioning for a minute here, Neil. It's a back four, back five right now for Cleveland from that back three that they started the game with.
Here's Cunningham. He got all this started in the 2nd minute. Long time ago, Cunningham tried to get around his man. Will win a corner. The clock continues to tick. About 6.5 minutes left of the second extra time session.
I'll tell you what, Minneapolis and Detroit City FC are going to have a pretty tough act to follow. As the corner comes in and gets cleared over top the goal, it'll be a goal kick. Taken very quickly, more quickly than we thought was coming, and never really close to anything.
So Musa will send this one down the pitch. Less than 6 minutes left.
And Musa sent one into the Northern Guard with the punt out of bounds. And now we have 2 balls on the pitch.
And here we go. Jake Schindler plays in the Major Arena Soccer League for Rochester and Utica. Played it up ahead.
We know Kesey is good in the air. So his first speculative ball there, and now Cleveland will just waste some time. If they know what they're doing, it's control the ball as much as you can. And we're going to have another booking. Oh, is that a red? No.
It is a yellow.
Yellow, okay. I thought he pulled the wrong card out there. First card he showed was the other color, and he had to adjust that and say, wait a minute, this is what I meant to do.
You'd figure he knew where the yellow card was. Yeah. With the way this has gone.
He has used it enough tonight.
Yeah. Christian Vorovenci, the lead official here tonight, has been busy.
And deservedly so.
That ball served into the 18. Ruppel attempted to give one a run.
I think you probably see 2 or 3 minutes of stoppage time at this point, Neil. We had the goal, the injury. So right now we're in the 26th minute, 4 to go, and then probably 2 to 3, maybe 4 at the outset.
Rochester just trying to get a possession. Cleveland SC doing well to just play keep away. And that shot comes free, and the stop is made by Coughlin. Another attempt. Sent over top of the wall. Cleveland SC dangerously close to putting the cakes on the griddle.
Haven't heard that one come out in a while from you, Parts. Been missing the griddle cakes.
Godoy.
Let's see where Rochester positions here. Top 2, Miller's playing up front. Cleveland's gone back to a back 3 with 2 men up front, so there are avenues in the air.
Here's Godoy with it in the middle. Tried to swing it wide to the right. Schindler.
Rochester's got to be careful not just to take lashes at goal. Make sure they're quality chances. Possession is just as important as the lashes on goal.
118th minute.
And that was a clearance just for a clearance, but Rochester's center back's nice job to keep it in play. Wyatt Scott, good ball up.
Kesey was the target. Here's Cunningham. He's dangerous from anywhere. Godoy has that deflected, bounced just over top of Doug Miller.
Goal kick.
And keep in mind, too, Doug Miller, the head coach, out there in a playing role. He scored over 208 goals in 165 matches for the Buffalo Blizzard in the MPSL. I mean, he's capable.
He can put the ball in the back of the net. It's also putting your money where your mouth is. Head coach out there playing with his boys. So now 120 seconds of regulation time. And then stoppage. So we'll be watching Donovan Nucha.
Schindler chips it towards the back post. Coming off the line and making the grab is Musa.
Nice job by the keeper to come out and claim the ball. It was an all or nothing. He knew Kesey was coming. Punch wasn't going to work. See how much time fourth official Nucha signals.
Vinny Bell moves through. Vinny Bell's got a hat trick already. Give him a fourth. And Cleveland SC will be moving on. You would think 6-4. Vinny Bell, incredible performance. And the cakes are on the griddle here in Keyworth for Cleveland SC.
4 goals for Vinny Bell. Clearly a man of the match performance. And Vinny Bell puts the exclamation point on. Frankly, Cleveland SC, the way they were playing undisciplined in the first half and down 2-0, I didn't think they'd get here.
But here they are.
But there's a reason they had a plus 20 goal differential. There's a reason they only had 2 defeats on the year. They come back, a stoppage time leveler, and now maybe a 7th. No, it's going to peter out.
Coughlin may go in the book, and he will with a yellow. Coughlin was pretty much forced into that, however, a late break going after that one.
A word here for Rochester Lancers. Listen, it doesn't get any harder than the route they had to take to get here. You come to Ann Arbor, drive from New York to Michigan. You have the match stopped because of lack of light. You wait 2 days to figure out how you're going to end it. You have to go to Erie, Pennsylvania last night, play extra time, and go to penalties to get here. And you survived 90 minutes of 3-3 soccer, and then we're level again at 4-all. They performed admirably.
That ball sent wide of the frame.
Clearly, Cleveland SC deserves to be in the championship match. And if Detroit City FC gets through, that's going to be a fun environment. There is no love lost between Detroit City FC and teams from the Buckeye State. But a word for both of these teams, and Rochester deserves more than just your casual tip of the cap.
Cunningham goes to Godoy. And stoppage time won't be long left in this one for the Rochester Lancers. That ball squirts free over towards the left side of the pitch. Cunningham. The whistle sounds, and Cleveland SC survives. A 6-4 win in extra time. That man, Vinny Bell, scores 4 goals. Cleveland trailed by 2 on 2 different occasions, but it doesn't matter. Cleveland SC has a date with the winner of the next match on Sunday at 1 p.m. right here from Keyworth. Make sure you stick around and don't go anywhere. Detroit City FC, Minneapolis City SC coming up next. We will have it for you from my broadcast partner, John Krieger. My name is Neil Rule. Cleveland SC wins it 6-4. We'll be back with DCFC and Minneapolis City SC in a little bit.
Who are you? Think about it. Is who you are now who you were meant to be? At Baker College, we want to help you be more. More curious, more productive, more effective, and be more successful at it all.